Welcome to Home Cooking with Holly. Today we're going to make Ponzu chicken. This is also a nice alternative to chicken with gravy. It makes a nice citrusy sauce. For this recipe, we're going to need some minced garlic, some ginger or ginger paste, apricot preserves, some lime juice, some ponzu sauce. Now this is sort of like soy sauce, but it's citrusy, and we'll also need some butter for this. Now first I need to prepare my chicken, so I'm just going to trim off the excess fat from the chicken breasts. And then I am going to slice them in half lengthwise to make thinner breasts. Now we do want to get the excess moisture off of these chicken breasts, so I'm going to take some paper towels and just pat them dry. Next, I'm going to start to pan fry the chicken breasts in about a tablespoon of olive oil over a medium to medium-high heat, and I'm just going to season them with salt and pepper. And while that chicken's cooking, I'm going to start in on a side dish here. I'm going to use zucchini and yellow squash, and I'm just going to cut the ends off of those and slice them up, and we're going to roast these today. After I slice them in half, I like to slice them in half again so that I get two equal parts that I can cut up into little chunks. But sometimes I do leave the bottom together because it's narrower and just chop that in half. And I'm just going to make some nice bite-sized pieces here. And you can use as much squash as you want here. You can have all yellow squash, all zucchini squash, a mixture like I'm doing, whatever you'd like to do. Now this zucchini is pretty big, so I'm going to cut this in half before I cut it in half lengthwise, just to make it easier to handle. And I'm just going to cut this the exact same way that I cut the yellow squash. All right, and now all of our squash is ready to go. And I think I'll go ahead and roast some broccoli next to this on the same pan. So I'm just going to clean my broccoli here. I just gave it a rinse, and I'm going to cut the broccoli into nice bite-sized pieces, and we'll just roast it all together. You do want to make sure you're cutting your broccoli on the stalk and not cutting the top of the floret. It just makes less mess that way. And now our broccoli is all ready to go as well. Now I've got them side by side on my baking dish that I've lined with parchment paper, and I've added salt and pepper and olive oil and just kind of mix them around with my hands and flatten them out. And now I'm going to bake them at 425 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now my chicken is done, so I've removed it from the pan. And I'm going to add about half a tablespoon of the ginger and about 2 teaspoons of the minced garlic to this pan. And I'm going to use my whisk here to let that start cooking, and I want to scrape up those yummy brown bits on the bottom of the pan that the chicken has left behind. It's just a lot of flavor, and I don't want to lose it. Then I'm adding about a 1/4 cup of water. And I'm going to use some apricot preserves. You want a good tablespoon. I usually put in a little extra. It just makes the sauce a little sweeter. It's really, really delicious. Next, I have the ponzu sauce, which is that citrusy sauce that's similar to soy. And I'm going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of that ponzu sauce. And I'm just going to whisk this around and let it start to come together over a medium to medium-high heat. This sauce only takes a few minutes and it's very delicious. And now I've popped our vegetables out of the oven. I'm just going to add some shredded Parmigiano Reggiano to the broccoli and pop that back in for just about 3 or 4 minutes. Now the ponzu sauce, I am adding 1 tablespoon of butter. I've turned the heat down. You can also just turn it off at this point because that sauce will melt the butter. And I'm going to add in at least 2 teaspoons of lime juice. Again, as you know, if you've been following me, I don't tend to measure a lot of things, but you kind of want to do the lime juice to taste here. And I'm just going to give that a final whisk just to get everything incorporated together. And this sauce is actually all ready to go. It smells incredible. And now my vegetables are done. The cheese has melted on the broccoli. Cheese is optional, of course. You can leave it off. And then we have the zucchini and the yellow squash, nice and tender. It all looks and smells delicious. And I've served up a plate here. You want to make sure that you spoon some of that sauce onto the chicken. It's a nice glistening sauce from that extra tablespoon of butter that we added. It's a great way to make a sauce glisten, is just to add some butter at the end. And I'm just serving this with our vegetables and some white rice. I hope you'll give this recipe a try. It's another one of my family's favorites. We have a lot of favorites. I guess I'm always cooking, so there's always something new to try, and we fall in love with them, and I make them over and over. So I hope you'll give it a try. Please like and subscribe and follow me for more recipes and cooking tips.